You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, team. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Nashville After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Nashville After Show.
Being is for doing, and Keetin's so upset. Wow. We are here doing the Nashville season finale called I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, and you can tell we're all just a little stunned by this episode. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Kind of true, though. You think about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to get out of that episode alive, honestly.
We barely did.
It was rough.
Yeah. All right, I'm your host. I'm joined here tonight by
Whitney Lane. I'm Keetin Marchi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini.
And I'll say my name is JJ Jurgens. See, I'm so flustered from this episode. And we want to say hi to Jen Golden
And
Lauren out there. Yeah, we miss you guys on the season finale, so hope you you would have shared. And I see I am all flustered from this. I don't even know where to
It was a very
start.
stressful episode. We're all exhausted from watching it.
We have not been drinking. We are just in turmoil.
It was a lot.
Mad.
It's frustrating.
All right, well, let's get...
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
just dive right in, guys. We're going to start with Scarlett and Gunnar.
Yeah,
Is that what
let's
we want
first
to do?
go with them. Yeah, let's get... Yeah.
I like her more than I did. Remember, I've been coming around to her. I don't know. She's kind of like figuring her life out, standing on her own 2 feet.
Can we talk about that awkward scene between her and Avery having brunch together and how the lack of chemistry was like sickening and gross? I was like, oh, they don't belong together. I don't know if that was like a choice. They maybe might have done that on purpose because they're like, we want to show you that these two characters, they're going to be in each other's lives maybe forever, but they aren't meant for each other. So maybe that's why they played that out so awkward. But I just thought it looked like a bad scene, like out of like a soap opera. It was really awkward.
I agree the chemistry is not there because there's so much backstory to those two, and we've seen so much drama between them. And now that they're kind of apart but kind of getting a little bit back together, it's just so much has already happened, and we just don't want them to be together anymore.
I thought it was a bad scene, too, at the time, but then now, seeing how it ended, I thought maybe it is what they wanted to show that there isn't chemistry with them anymore, so that maybe she would be able to make a decision later
And he
on.
can
with
move
the-
on to support Juliette, which they seem to kind of lean on each other's shoulders a little bit, or at least she's leaning on Avery's. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't dislike that couple.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I just think he's like there for her right now. Like he shows up to the funeral, which I thought was very nice. I don't know, he's just there. Mate, we'll see what happens with that.
Well, they were both kind of people who were all about themselves, and so now maybe that they've kind of got that out of their systems a little bit, it would work out
They
with them
both
together.
lost something that was they both lost the thing that was most important to each of them. Avery lost his career. Juliette lost her mom. And I feel like when you lose something that's extremely important to you, it kind of triggered something in you. And it'll be interesting, and hopefully we'll see that change in them together. Because I do like them together. Like I can like stand Avery when he's with Juliette. She kind of like anchors him and lifts, holds him down and lifts him up at the same time. And he just is so awkward with Scarlett, and that song they sang together.
How about died?
Oh,
What about howling?
I wanted to fast forward it. It was just, he was trying to be Gunnar, and you just can't. You can't be Gunnar, Avery.
They don't sound nearly as good as Gunnar and Scarlett, but man, That was woof.
It was
Literally, the howling in the moon. It was
the lyrics
woof.
were terrible, and it was just.
I felt awkward. They're just awkward. It's done. It's done. I'm glad they can be friends, friendly, supportive to each other, but there's just nothing. There's nothing there.
So, what do you think she's gonna say to Gunnar?
Oh gosh, I think she's gonna say no.
Ladies?
Yeah, I think she's gonna say no because they just split up, and you can see Scarlett's like, "What are you doing here, Gunnar?" So her heart's not into it right now.
Gunnar, are you stupid? Like again, this is like the first of many things in this episode that just went completely opposite of what like I was hoping the wrap up at the end of the season would be, and I was just like first, like Gunnar, you don't have money to buy a ring. Like, you just broke up with her. Like, you really, that's almost as bad as getting her tattooed on, like, his, like, arm or, like, her name tattooed on his arm or something. It was just, like it just seemed like a very immature move.
What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, actually, for some reason,
You think she's gonna say
think
yes?
she might say yes, and I
Well.
don't know why I think that, but
Well, she's a needy lady.
yeah, and I just think she might turn, and I don't know.
I think-
just go for it.
This is so Gunnar, though. He always wants what he doesn't have completely, and then, like, Scarlett's in love with him. She says that to him. She's there for him, and he kind of, as soon as he found out about Avery, it's like, jealous Gunnar again. Let me go step back in. Like, it was not the time for him to propose. They're on the rocks right now. Just because she feels weak because her uncle is a drunk again, you know, like it's just not the time to jump on a vulnerable girl.
And I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's just a desperate act from Gunnar because we see that Avery's back into the picture trying to get Scarlett a little bit, and he's just, acting, and he wants her back. And I think this is the only way that he can, like, really hold on to Scarlett.
I do think Gunnar like loves Scarlett. I really think they're they are kind of like meant to be. I think they just work, kind of like Rayna and Deacon. Like they're just supposed to be together, and I don't know. I feel like I don't think they're gonna end up together. I think she's gonna say no, and I think that's what next season their whole relationship is gonna be him trying to win her back, which is gonna get so annoying, but. I just
Same
feel
old,
like that's
same
what's
old.
gonna happen.
We got to change that up.
There's a lot of cat and mouse going on.
It is with
yeah.
a lot of the relationships in this show.
Yeah.
We don't get much closure.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let's move on and start talking about Tandy and Lamar's situation.
Wow.
I don't even know. Tandy, it's just like she's been her dad's like sidekick for so long, and I get that she wants to kind of go out and have the business under her wing now, but Lamar's never going to let go. He's a very controlling person. But I love the line when she was like, obviously you can only like or have a relationship with one daughter at a time. It's so true. Like it's so weird too to see that shift when Tandy was always there for him.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then he has the act of promoting his
Albert.
Albert. Yeah. Thank you, Rain Man. Promoting Albert above her, that's low.
That's mean.
Especially when she's been by your side this whole time.
It's just weird that a dad can do that. Like I mean, I don't know what type of relationship you guys have with your dad, but it's strange to me that a dad can be that malicious. Like, I mean, he knows that's where it's going to hurt her most, and he just digs it. And it's like, come on, are you a high school girl? Like, grow up, Lamar.
And especially one who just had a heart attack. Like, you'd think, he might have gotten, which we thought, I guess he did with Rayna, getting a little more perspective. But yeah, to just see him turn around and do the same exact things to his other daughters.
It's
just
ridiculous.
yeah.
That's going to be a whole nother storyline. Him and, well, because remember whoever wanted to speak to Tandy when she walked out of the office about her dad. So she's going to throw him under the bus, I think. And
Or
we'll
she's
see.
or her dad. I bet you her dad turns it on her and sends his daughter
It's just
to
like,
prison.
this is your family. What is up with these people? This is your daughter, like, and your father. Join together. You're stronger as a family unit. Come on.
Grow up. Just grow up.
What do you think is going to happen with, Teddy and Lamar and now that some of Teddy's past is being investigated?
I think Lamar always needs to be needed, and he wants to be in control, and this is his way to do it, by throwing Teddy under the bus with this Cumberland deal. He's going to get his baseball field, and then he's going to save him again. And so Teddy will again be in debt to Lamar.
Exactly. And I think Teddy's going to go to Lamar to help him with this audit that came back up again. So he's going to owe his life to Lamar again.
Although Peggy is still on his side, that woman.
And she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. All the other stuff going on, I forgot
There
about
was
Peggy.
so much.
Pregnant. Of course.
And I was really bummed her and Brad Paisley were not in a scene together. That kind of broke my heart a little bit. I think the baby is going to end up being Brad Paisley's baby, honestly.
It could be.
Teddy
talk
just
about
can't
that.
have any baby. Well, I guess he's got one.
But now he's going to have two.
I kind of didn't thought that was a little cheap. I don't know that we needed to have her throw that in there, and if they needed that a little extra.
Maybe she's
storyline.
lying. She lies a lot. She's trying to get him back. I don't know. Who knows about that woman? She's crazy.
It is a way for her to like be like, you know, this is why I didn't like turn you in because I need you in my life now, and I need you to have a clean slate, and I want like we need to be that perfect couple.
Right,
To the
and then-
society. Like,
How's Maddie gonna feel when really she
Yeah.
doesn't?
oh my gosh.
Now he really does have
Yeah.
another child. He has Daphne, and then Maddie's like, my dad,
Maddie's
so drunk.
Yeah.
Maddie's daddy problems just get
Poor
worse
girl.
and worse.
Well, we'll get to that, I'm sure.
That
But
whole
still, it's
family.
She's
like
gonna
That
need a
whole family.
lot of counseling.
they all do.
Yeah.
They all need to
That
just
whole family.
figure something out there. Teddy, though, he kind of became a man. We saw him beating Deacon. He
That's
became
hot.
a little bit of a
Yeah.
man.
He did. I enjoyed seeing that. Like it was nice. I mean, not that I want to see Deacon get punched, but
Right.
it was definitely nice to see him like
Let out his
yeah.
resentment back towards him and tell him this is exactly how you've always been. I knew you'd still be the same kind of thing. That's gotta hurt a little bit.
I
Yeah.
think the thing that was appealing to me was that it was so truthful. It
Yeah.
really came from a true place with his character, and he just got those emotions out.
Yeah. It was Teddy's I told you so moment. And he didn't have to say it to Rayna. He got to say
Yeah.
it right directly to Deacon's face.
It took 13 years, but he got to do it, right?
Yeah, hopefully that was some closure for him. This is.
You don't want that though, because it's still your daughter's real father. You don't want him to be this drunk.
No,
know what I
exactly.
mean?
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. But you know, I don't think. I think in a real match, Teddy versus Deacon, I think Deacon would
Well,
kick his
yeah.
butt.
Yeah.
He needed
that's
like
true.
2 people to come and run and help him, and he.
I think it's also too, Teddy's been left by Rayna now, who he was always by her side and loved her. Now she left him for Deacon again, and now Deacon's right back to where, so I think that was part of his lashing out as well, being like, at least he has his moment that
He was
is
there for
better.
them.
Yeah, he was there for them, but still now he's better than him still,
I
And
liked
that
how
match.
I liked how Teddy took the high road, that he didn't get him arrested. He's
Yeah.
just let him go. I said my 2 cents. Done.
I like that
Good
too.
point. Yeah.
I'm impressed with Teddy. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but Teddy and Rayna, they just like don't get along. But I was impressed with how they handle a lot of this stuff that they're doing and dealing with. They really come to each other first to figure out a way to handle different situations. We'll get to that though, won't we?
Well, we can go ahead.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and talk about
Teddy and
yeah,
and Rayna.
and like how they had to have the conversation with Maddie, but they did it together and sat her down. I thought that was handled well.
Well,
I think that's
yeah.
that's like the one thing this family has going for them that they don't need counseling for. It's like they know, both Rayna and Teddy know their kids are number one, and that's like so important. I think with just with all the divorce and stuff, like it was just like way to go, guys. Like way to put your issues aside and just care about like your 2 girls. So
Well, Maddie kind of just opened a can of worms before the CMA Awards, didn't she?
Maddie.
Bad timing.
Yeah.
It really
Horrible
was.
timing.
She knew. You could see it through the beginning. Rayna's talking to her kids and opening up about her and Deacon dating, which I think is good, right? I mean, I think she was handling that stuff well, talking to her girls about it before they find out in the tabloids or whatever it is. But Deacon didn't pick Rayna up for that date, did he?
No.
That was a shocker.
do you know what I thought was so interesting about that scene is I'm like, I wonder if like celebrities really do that. Like they sit down with their kids and have those discussions, like of, hey, this is what you're gonna see in the tabloids. I've just never seen that played out in like a drama or TV show, like of portraying like a celebrity parent. And I thought that was very interesting to see kind of that side. It was something a scene I've never seen before. So I really, thank you, Nashville.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nashville. That was my favorite scene. It was like the first scene, and it just went, no big deal.
But I liked how we get that side of Rayna compared to her previous story of being exposed in the tabloids. So now we got that nicer, this is the professional way of how to have a real relationship.
I also like that she was like embracing it too. Like before, she would have maybe not have gone there, but I like that she was accepting that her relationship and just being like, okay, this is going to be part of it, and just kind of maturely handling all of it, which I don't know, before I just think she was kind of hiding from all of it.
I'm surprised that she was so open at this point, because I think she was struggling with coming out about dating Deacon and that coming out to everyone else, you know, especially to her kids, because Teddy did not want that at all. And I'm surprised that she was so open and ready to let the world know her and Deacon are back together.
It was a long time coming.
Yeah.
So.
And it was briefly refreshing.
Well, the CMA Awards, we see Juliette turns up.
Oh, God.
Not looking so good, because it is not the time for her to come to an award show.
No, and how painful was it to watch when she, said she should be celebrating.
Oh, that was tough.
Yeah.
When she said she should be celebrating that her mom is dead. Like, that is, but it's kind of almost like she said earlier, she's just dreading it happening. She's almost waiting for it to happen, and it's probably somewhat of a relief to her that she doesn't have to keep wondering when it's going to happen.
Well, she did have that moment where she broke down, and she did say that out loud. And I'm sure it's something she has said to herself for years and years and years, and it was probably almost a relief to say it out loud, but then to actually hear herself say, I mean, she immediately, that's what got her. She's like, oh my God, I didn't mean that. Oh my God. And it's like you almost saw her turn into the little girl who probably used to yell that at her mom and then be like, oh, Mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You saw her turn into that. And I just thought Hayden Panettiere had I thought Hayden Panettiere did an amazing job acting this episode. I mean, she's done a great job singing as well as acting this entire season. And I just think she ended on such a high note with her character in Juliette. I mean, obviously she's crazy, but like the character, but I just thought kudos to Hayden.
Yeah.
Like,
That's great. And to go back to that scene, yes, she's an amazing actress. But to go back to that scene, when she's angry, you can see that this is a real step in grieving, and this is how she's grieving with her mother's death. It's just being angry at her mother again.
And I love that Glenn came back. He's like her rock, and she got rid of him just like she does other people. Although she says she's always alone, she kind of makes it that way. Yeah. She chooses to be alone because she doesn't open up and trust anyone. And Glenn's always been by her side, and here he comes back again, teaching her again, you need people on your side. You need people to be there to help you get through things like this. And I think that just shows his character as well as Rayna's, because Rayna was there at every point during this as well. And I think we've talked about it a lot in the past, about her kind of becoming that mother figure. And I think it's starting to happen where she can open up and trust Rayna, because they've always had that tension as being rival singers. I kind of liked it this time.
Yeah, I too.
they're both in such dark places, like going into this next season. Like, I really hope we see a bond between them form. It would be really nice. Can I just, do we know who Juliette's dad is? No. And we don't know her backstory with Glenn either, how they met or anything, right?
I think he was just her first manager.
Her first manager. I hope we get some info about that, because I think that'll be an interesting story.
Yeah, that's a good point that we haven't heard about the dad at all.
Have we at all? Drug addict as well? I don't remember. Maybe not.
Remember.
Guess we'll find out.
It's Deacon.
If he comes back for the...
Oh, that
Or
would
was
be
it one of her
weird.
drug partners?
That's
and
what
there
I
was so
thought.
many she didn't even know who it was. Maybe.
So we'll have to look back in that.
If you're listening and you remember,
Let us know.
send it to us.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Comment. Rate.
We'll have it until all next season to try and discover which it was. All right. Well, let's. Anything more with Juliette and her mom?
I love the part where the detectives come back. They've done the autopsy and everything, but they found the little disc, the SD card. And that's when she knew right there. It's like, oh, okay, my mom, there was a reason. Something was going on. She was obviously covering it up. It was down the garbage disposal. Next thing you know, she gets this letter.
Yeah.
And that kind of had to help because it's like, okay, she didn't just do it because she was on drugs again. She did it because she really cared about me and she didn't want me to have to go through all of this turmoil in my life.
Yeah, I think it helps, but I also think it hurts even more because then it's you know, just having the guilt of she put her mom in that situation then, and then to think that her mom chose her over her own life, it just adds a whole nother dynamic, layer of guilt for Juliette's character to have to bear, I think, for the rest of her life.
That's why I feel for her because they really were starting to get there. You know, they'd been working on the relationship the whole time, and she really didn't get closure from it at all. It's like your mother's gone. She's gone. You can't fix it, even though she feels sorry and she wishes she could. Because you can see that in her. She's always wanted that. She just had so much resentment that it overtook any chance of forming a good relationship. But man, now she doesn't even have that option. And that's got to even be tougher for her. Oh, that's sad to me.
Yeah, but I did like the scene where Juliette was reading the letter. That was real, true, genuine acting. It was raw, and like you can feel for Juliette when she's reading it. And then I also loved when she went to her mother's casket, and she's talking to her mother and saying, "I was always the mother in this relationship, and you were the daughter, and I was taking care of you." So this whole turning around and just Juliette, Juliette, just realizing that her whole relationship with her mother, yes, it's been a rocky road, but she really does love her mother.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think it's hard too after she made the choice too to kind of turn her back on her mom during, you know, with Dante. Yeah, and then getting involved with Dante and
She's
then
just
the way
gonna
that
have
ended up.
a lot of regrets with that, and there's nothing you can do. She's gonna always think, man, I wish I'd tried harder for this. But in the end, you know, you just have to move forward, and hopefully she'll be able to get past it. That's a tough thing. I don't even know how she's gonna. We'll see. That'll be a whole new development, I'm sure, next season. She needs to do this on her own. She doesn't need a man for this.
She needs to be by herself.
I think she needs Glenn.
And Rayna and people that are going to be supportive. Right now, she does not need Deacon.
Yeah, she doesn't need a significant other.
No. Deacon is in a whole nother place.
He knows, though, when she called him, you know, and he had just woken up from his drunken stupor, and she's like, I'd really like for you to be there. He feels it. He knows he's that good guy deep inside, but he has a disease, and he's having a rough time getting past this whole situation with Maddie.
Yeah, so let's dive into this big one now. Oh, boy. So he finds out the news from Maddie. Maddie.
Poor girl.
Okay, I felt sorry for her until she did it the way she did it.
What would you do when you're 13 years old? You do the exact same thing.
No, I would have called my mom out about it at the breakfast table before taking a cab over to Deacon's house.
Yeah.
That was like maniacal. Like she was like, that was like evil.
I don't think it was. I think she's just trying to understand what happened, and this is what she thinks. Like, she didn't know for sure. Obviously, he didn't know, but it's like, what happens when you find out your dad's not your real dad? Like, you don't know what you do as a 13-year-old. I feel like she's just like, got to figure it out.
Right, and especially because in the past few episodes, she sees that she has this inkling that Teddy's not her real father, and she's investigating, and then she finds out, and she does the math with Rayna's relationship with Deacon before Rayna was with Teddy, and then so she does the math and then figures it out, and she's this whole investigation on her part, and she just wants answers. So I completely understand why she would go straight to Deacon.
And I know she's mad at both of her parents right now too because of the divorce. So she's probably figuring like, well, you know, I'm not getting any answers from them anyway right now. I'm just going to go straight to, you know, maybe the source who might know.
She doesn't care to CMA awards. She's trying to figure out her life. Who are her parents? Like, that's a little bit more pressing than an award show and worrying about ruining your mother's night. That mother should be worrying about making sure her daughter's okay with what's happening.
I just, like, I think the biggest issue was if Rayna knew she was going to start a relationship up with Deacon again. Like, obviously something like that's bound to, I just don't understand why they didn't tell. I don't know. It just, I mean, who knows? Like, I know Rayna tried to explain it and stuff, but I get that Deacon has every right to be pissed. Maddie has every right to be pissed. That was so immature of Teddy. As mature as Teddy and Rayna have been acting, that living that lie for as long as they did was absolutely like uncalled for.
Yeah, it's messed up, and that's why this is all. Now everyone's just lost and trying to figure out what it is that's happening. Oh, it's so sad. It really is. This was a depressing episode.
I'm really down.
I know.
But I did like Maddie, and Rayna's a good mom in the sense that she really is open with her kids, and she will sit there and she will tell you, like, we need each other. Like, you need your mom, and then you see that little moment where Maddie comes and sits on her lap. And it's still there. It's just going to take her a lot to get over that. That is just like, I mean, what would you do if you found out your dad wasn't your real dad? You would be you would resent it. You would feel like no one loves you. Like exactly what she's saying, you know?
Yeah, and I guess we got more information tonight about how things were, and obviously seeing Deacon as drunk as he gets, we now know what she had gone through for so many years by him. But still, to make the decision not to tell him that he's the dad. I mean, she could have said that you're the dad, but I'm going to go marry him because we can have a better life. So I think that decision to keep that a secret,
How terrifying was Deacon? I know one of you guys mentioned after that scene played out of, I think it was Deacon, Gunnar, Scarlett, and Coleman. And just that was terrifying. I was scared watching that on TV because I like could feel everything, and he just seemed absolutely uncontrollable. And Coleman was just such a cool guy. I was just like, Coleman is like the best guy.
But he's been through it too, though. That's why he knows.
I know, and it's
Such
just
a sponsor.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying right there. Seeing that, that's why Rayna did what she did.
No,
Maddie will never understand that because she doesn't know what he was like, and she has no. I mean, if you don't see that, you don't understand it. You know what I mean? But thinking back to that, you don't want someone who acts like that, who you don't know, even if he's been in rehab and he looks like he's doing better, you don't know if he's going to fall back and do it again. You really do. She's protecting your kid, as she was protecting her heart the whole time, which is why I always was kind of on her side, because even if she wasn't very open and emotional with him, she had her guard up and she had a right to be, because that's scary. That is scary.
that was really
No, it's very true. Like you said, you don't know if they would have told him, he could have come and kidnapped her, or
you never know when you're an alcoholic. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't blame them for doing that. I think they should have figured something out a long time before this. She shouldn't have had to find that out by snooping around. It was about time. She's old enough. She was asking questions about everything in general. When you're going through divorce and things like that anyways, she probably needed more answers, but...
Could have also, since he was 13 years sober, maybe at like year 6, 7.
Right.
Hey, things are going well. Maybe we should try to
You're exactly right.
The kid's only 6. Maybe we could make smooth this out now that things are going better. But to keep that, and I agree with what you said, to make the decision to go back into a relationship with him, with Deacon, how could she ever think that she's going to be able to keep that secret? Because you could not be in a relationship and then, having dinner with your kids and not tell him that's
messed up.
Yeah, that would have been so hard for her to do. So I think she clearly should have made the decision of how to handle that before going back into this
She got
relationship.
too lost in like the la la land of kind of, oh my God, where it's gonna work. Me and Deacon are gonna be together now. Finally, he's been sober, and I have my girls, and it's finally gonna work. And she completely just forgot about like being like a mom in her instances with Deacon.
But I think another thing is Teddy's control issue too, because a few episodes back we find out that Teddy was always like, we made this promise years ago that I would be the true father of, the daughter, and so I think it was just him trying to always like keep Deacon out of the picture.
Well, he doesn't want to be hurt either, but at the same time, it's like, you're not a real dad deep down. So you've kind of got to think a little bit more about her than being selfish and wanting no one to find this stuff out. They're all it was a whole mess. But I totally get all sides, I think, honestly. You never know why people make the decisions they do until you see kind of the backstory and how people were acting and what was happening.
That's all I wanted. I want some flashbacks next season. That's what I really, really want. Not only flashbacks with Rayna and Deacon and Teddy, but I want flashbacks from Juliette and how she met Glenn and how Juliette became famous, honestly. How did she get her big break? That's like, she's like this huge country star and she's great, but how did it happen?
Man, I don't want to see
Maybe
Deacon drunk
season two.
anymore.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking too when
season
she said
two.
it. I was like, yeah, those flashbacks I don't want to see now, though. Him being
And I'm
drunk
worried about it. I'm worried. I thought he was. See, that's the thing right there, because he can, like an alcoholic right there, it's a disease, and he knows how to cover it up because he did it for many years. So he said, Coleman, I'll be there tonight at 8, you know? And I knew it wasn't over like that. He's brushing his teeth and washing it down with alcohol, with liquor. So this is going to be another, man, 13 years. You know,
Down the
that's probably
drain.
what he's thinking, though. Down the
Yeah,
drain.
it's
Why
just
not
not
just keep
working. Yeah.
drinking?
Yeah.
You know?
I know we were like so exhausted with this episode, and it was just super downer, and like we were all like very angry about a lot of the things that happened. But like, kudos to the show and to like the writers for like creating these characters that we are so invested in, and like somebody like Deacon, who we care so much about, that it makes us this angry and this like emotional and upset that he's starting to drink. Like again, it's like kudos to them. I love when I can get into a show like this and really love the characters and have good actors that portray them.
How can you not? He looks so good after that shower. Watching that face.
before the shower.
A good-looking man right there. Good-looking man.
He is a good-looking man and just such a good actor.
He
He
is.
says so much in his eyes, and every scene is just amazing, I think.
I mean, he seemed drunk. And
Yeah.
he seemed angry, and he seemed hurt. Like, you saw it all. But the big scene was the Bluebird performance by Juliette, which I thought was a moving song dedicated to her
song.
mom, which you could see, you know, she wrote about her. It came from the heart. And a lot of people showed up, and I love seeing Marshall. Of course, he's going to be there because it's like, got to represent my people. But like Rayna, and it was good to see people show up, and then you see Deacon and Rayna make that eye contact, and out he goes before she can catch him. Oh, it was bad.
But I like how Juliette was performing at the Bluebird because it's very humbling, and especially after everything she's going through, she's like, all right, I'm just going to be myself again.
And nice that she said that was the one place her mom wanted to see her. That was a really nice thing to say, moment as well.
And she got a whole band together, man. There were 4 violinists, there were like 3 background singers.
Yeah.
Like, girl
They'll
got
come
her
out.
thing. Yeah, girl got her thing together.
I love it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we have to.
we have to talk about it. So then we go outside the Bluebird.
And this is where you see I feel like that is a flashback almost of what she dealt with every time he was getting in a car drunk. And she's trying to fight him to push over so he's not driving home. And she gets in. I really feel like that's what happened a lot with her. And that's why it's hard or it's not as hard to understand the decisions she made. But
I
man,
totally agree with you. Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, we kind of said that as we were watching. We're like, oh, now this explains a lot, because it did feel that they played that really well too, because it put you back there, and you're like, okay, this is after going through that for years, and you know him being that mad and acting that crazy. Like it justifies what we
And how
choices we
she
see
acted,
her.
and how she was very guarded through a lot of their relationship, anyways. But man, he was just drinking that bottle as she was driving.
You do not have open alcohol in your vehicle. The moment Rayna saw that and she told him to put away, but no, you pull your car off to the side and throw it out.
You do not. Yes, but you see how strong Deacon can get with Coleman. Like, I was almost a little worried, honestly,
Me too, yeah.
as to how he was going to
Yeah.
be with Rayna. That's scary,
Yeah.
because you don't know.
No. Like we said, watching though, it's like she's been through this. She pulled the car over. Like she clearly knows what he is capable of or how bad it can be. Yeah, don't stay behind that wheel.
Don't yell at him and try to grab the bottle while you're driving.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
We were so mad.
Then what happened?
Yeah, I mean,
And then the car flipped.
At first, we thought it was the other people. Were like, wait, we've got to go back. But it was theirs, and it flipped pretty
Into a ditch.
yeah. Rolled a few
pretty rough
times.
right
yeah.
there. And so who knows what happened to
And there's
Deacon and
open
Rayna.
alcohol.
I mean, they're screwed.
They
Yeah.
are. They
If
really
they
are.
live through this, which, you know, there is a season 2, people. So we're guessing that they will, but
Then Rayna's gonna get hooked on painkillers. It's just like a vicious cycle.
I don't see a Rayna and Deacon
No.
performance at all in the near future if either one of them are. I don't know. That's just tough.
I think Rayna will be fine actually, because if they do blood tests and whatnot, we'll see that Rayna's clean, but
Right.
Deacon's the one that's drunk. But you still don't have open alcohol in your vehicle.
And guaranteed he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so he's definitely going to be
In trouble.
in some serious trouble.
It just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That was like not the way you want to finish an
Not
episode
with
and wait
them.
4 months, however long it is,
No.
till we see another one.
It was so painful. We waited so long for those two to get back together, and then we finally get it, like
For an
like an
episode.
episode. Yeah.
Give us a break.
Oh.
Give us a break.
We get one nice
Exhausted.
song of Deacon with the girls. You know, we get one
We
nice
didn't even get
dinner.
a full song. Just Teddy walked in and ruined it. Ruined the moment.
Darn it,
We
Teddy.
feel so cheated.
Golly.
And now we have to wait till next season.
You know who we didn't talk about?
Will. I saw that in the middle, but I didn't want to interrupt. But I was like, oh, we got to remember to
We
mention
might as
that.
well.
Yes.
This actually, that last scene, I almost just said this reminded me of when Marisa in the OC died.
Oh,
And
my
because he played the guy who played
Luke. He played
Luke,
Oh,
and
right.
Luke killed Marisa
Yeah.
by hitting like a car crash, just like that.
Off the road.
Yep, yep. And I was like,
I was just shocked that Gunnar walked in on him and a girl. Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Well, and I thought,
Covering it up, Will.
I thought for a second there we were gonna, because before we had said that we thought he was kind of attracted to
Yeah.
Scarlett as well. So I was like, oh, well, maybe we're gonna find out that he's bi, and he just, you know.
I don't think
but
he is. I think that's
no,
just
it's all
him
just a
covering himself up, being that next country
Yeah.
music superstar. But you see
my
those
heart.
eyes with the waiter at wherever they are.
Yeah.
There was
They have
something
history.
serious there.
Yeah, because he definitely gave. I mean, they had the eyes, and then he gave the like, no, don't do this.
Not
here.
here.
in front of
best
these people.
back up.
Keep
You best
walking.
But wow, I'm actually excited to see what happens there. Like, if Will lasts much longer. I thought he was gonna die. I knew 2 people were gonna die. I thought Will could have been one of them. Nope.
no.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see that coming with Will and his storyline. I didn't see this secondary guy come into the picture.
Yeah.
Cute. The
right.
secondary
Yeah.
guy is very cute. They get good looking people
excited.
for this show.
They do.
Man, good casting.
There was
Boy.
just a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. Anything else in this episode, ladies?
Man. Brad Paisley was in this episode.
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
I appreciate
And
him.
his song with Rayna was just not good.
I loved how, though,
good.
because the CMA Awards, Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood always host them together.
Yeah.
So I loved how they had the voiceover Carrie in that, and Brad's
Yeah.
up there singing, and you see him on the TV in the bar as he's presenting something else. Like, it's just it's real.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
make it real Nashville.
That's true.
That's what I like, and I hope that like in the future next season they have a lot more cameos from country music stars. It's just,
They
it's
had
just
quite
fun.
a few, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some more come into
Yeah. 'Cause
that.
We had Vince Gill earlier in
Yeah,
the
we had
season.
Kit Moore, we
Yeah.
had Chris Young, we had a lot. Brantley Gilbert was in it as well. So,
A lot more earlier on.
so we'll see. That's something to look
Yeah.
forward to, hopefully, as well.
Well, should we
right.
break into some news and gossip?
Yes.
Got it.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, just a few things. Today, Deadline reports that Nashville was the only ABC freshman drama to get renewed. So, yay for season 2. However, a lot of changes are going to happen behind the scenes. Apparently, the production crew it will not be returning. They're going to have whole new line producer and production supervisor coming in. The production supervisor, who was Don Bensko, his wife wrote a letter. It was an open letter, and so it's out there right now if you guys want to read it, but talking about the emotional turmoil that basically went on with the crew members. They're actually all in LA while they're shooting in Nashville. So you can imagine the scripts coming in late and how difficult it is to kind of get that together. So I think a lot of changes are going to be being made behind the scenes. So we'll have some new stuff to look forward to, I guess, in that, or who knows? It's kind of an interesting letter, so you'll have to check that out. A couple other things. Connie Britton was on Jimmy Kimmel Live, said she feels guilty that she has a music career right now, that she actually has albums. She was like, I walked down the streets of Nashville, I'm like, I'm so sorry, you guys are the best, like to real country musicians. She's like, you should take a place on my album. So she feels guilty that she's a singer as well as an actress right now. And the last one with a little bit of gossip, Peyton Panettiere was caught at the Rolling Stones concert at the Staples Center on Monday with her love, which I can't ever pronounce his name, Vladimir or something.
The boxer.
Or her fiance, we don't really know, but they were out listening to some different kind of music, right? Not the country stuff. That's all I've got for you.
Do you think she's gonna have? Okay, sorry. We'll put that in there.
TV.
And now, what are our predictions for next season?
I think this audit is going to come back and bite them in the ass. I think Rayna's going to be fine. Deacon's going to be still going on this downward spiral. And
he's going to be in prison.
Yeah. And I think Juliette's going to be a better person.
I think Juliette and Avery are going to have a love affair. And then Avery's going to get a little taste of what it's like to be famous, and he's going to go back down his dark hole because he's going to become more obsessed with that than with Juliette. I think our girl Scarlett is going to say no to Gunnar, but I think she's going to find somewhere because I know she's going to be going on tour soon. So I can't wait to see that because I think she's opening up for Rayna, I think that's what she's doing next season.
I don't remember.
I think she is. So I'll be excited to hear more songs from her. I really like her sound, and I think I can understand her when she sings. Nice. And yeah, I just feel so bad for Deacon, and I really hope they're both gonna be okay. And they help Maddie through this. They just need to keep Maddie in mind. So. Oh gosh, I'm so sad about the end of this episode.
It's not at all what I thought it was. I mean,
No.
I didn't think it'd be this bad at the
A
end.
bit devastating.
Yeah. Get myself together.
In many ways. I think Lamar's coming back on top, people. He is going to show them what he can do, and the connections he has in that baseball field is happening. If that even matters to anyone watching this show.
What do you think the team's going to be called?
Oh, I don't know. Gosh. Name it after Rayna James, his new he's a proud father. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to have to work a lot on the Deacon, Rayna, Maddie situation. Yeah. He's her dad. She's got to be able to. I think I could totally see him getting his act together more quickly than expected just because he does have a child. It's going to take him a while to handle it and deal with the news, but I can see him getting back on track. But I don't see a good future right now for Deacon and Rayna, which is so sad.
Yeah, I agree. I hope he doesn't spend a lot of next season like off the wagon, and just I don't want to see it.
I don't either.
Yeah, I agree with all your guys' predictions. I'm going to throw out another prediction. I think Hayden in real life may pull something a little like her character, and we might hear of like a secret wedding between now and next season.
I like it.
I do like that.
I can totally see that. All the speculation going on.
I love how
right
she's
now.
like literally like half the height of her. It's like two of her to reach the top of her boyfriend. It's crazy.
I know.
Man.
Well, what a season. Thank you guys all for joining us and listening to each week and your comments and writing in. We really loved it. Just been a great experience, and we've loved going through the show with you guys and experiencing this all together.
We'll see you in October.
Yeah. Where can they find everybody?
You can find me on Twitter at WhitneyLane1118 and on my website, whitney-lane.com.
You can find me on Twitter at KeetinM33.
I'm on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And I'm at JJ Jurgens. Thank you.
See y'all soon.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Yeehaw!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.